Let's talk about something called an emotional flashback. Have you ever had a feeling just completely wash over you that was so intense, so overwhelming, it just didn't seem to match what was actually happening? You know, like a tidal wave of anger or shame or just pure fear, and it's all triggered by something tiny.
Well, here is the uncomfortable truth. That wasn't an overreaction. And nope, you're not too sensitive. What you felt was totally real, super powerful, and completely valid. It just might not belong to this exact moment. It's almost like you got caught in a little time warp.
Okay, so a feeling out of time. Look, this isn't just some vague psychological theory. This whole feeling out of time thing, it shows up in the most ordinary moments of our lives. So let's make it real. Just think about it for a second. You get a one-word text from your partner, or your boss uses a certain tone of voice in a meeting, or maybe a total stranger just gives you a look on the street. Logically, right? These are such small, insignificant things.
But inside, oh man, it is not small at all. It's like a switch just flips. Your heart starts pounding, your stomach drops, and you are just flooded with this level of panic or rage that feels completely out of your control. It's like you're in a private, invisible storm.
Section 2. The memory that isn't a memory. So what on earth is going on here? To really get this, we have to look at how your brain handles memory, especially after a really painful experience. Okay, so here's the key distinction, and this is huge. A normal memory, like, say, what you ate for breakfast, it's like a story that you can choose to read. You can access it, and then you can just put it away. But a trauma memory, it doesn't get filed away neatly like that. It gets stuck. It's not a story you visit. It becomes a room you're suddenly locked inside, and you're forced to feel everything all over again.
And this, right here, is the absolute core of the issue. For your nervous system, time itself literally breaks. That old danger isn't filed away safely in the past folder. Instead, it's stored in your body as if it's still live, just waiting for a reason to hit play.
So that leads to the million-dollar question, right? How does that paused recording suddenly start blasting on a random Tuesday afternoon? Number 3, the hijacking of the present. This brings us right to that moment of hijacking, the trigger that basically builds a bridge from then to now. I want you to picture this. You're having a good day, a perfectly normal day. You're feeling calm, you're focused, you're just, living your life. And then, bam, it happens. That tone of voice, that certain look from someone, that specific phrasing in an email. It acts just like a key. And it doesn't just remind you of the past, it unlocks it. It throws open the door to that trapped room we were talking about.
Now let this one really sink in, because it's important. You're not being irrational. Your nervous system isn't overreacting to your boss's email. It is reacting perfectly to a threat from years ago that felt just like this. The reaction itself is totally logical. It's just happening at the wrong time.
Section 4, an echo from a younger you. So if that huge feeling doesn't really belong to the adult you in this moment, who does it belong to? You know that overwhelming sense of feeling so small and helpless or just plain terrified that erupts inside you as an adult? Well, it's an echo. It's actually the unfiltered, totally unprocessed fear or shame or abandonment of a kid who had to survive something they just couldn't understand. You're feeling an old feeling with a modern adult brain. And number 5, this is an emotional flashback. Okay, let's put all these pieces together now. We've got the outsized emotion, the broken sense of time, the trigger, that echo from your past. What do we actually call this whole thing? All that sudden, gut-wrenching panic, that deep, sinking shame, that confusing, explosive anger that seems to come from nowhere. Let's be crystal clear here. Those feelings, they are not about the text message. They are not about your boss's feedback. They are ghosts from an older story. And here it is. This is the aha moment. It's called an emotional flashback. Now, unlike a visual flashback you might see in a movie, this is purely emotional. You are re-experiencing the feeling state of the original trauma. And, here's the kicker, often without any pictures or explicit memories attached to it at all. So the most crucial point to get is this. It is a full-body experience. Your mind isn't just remembering danger. Your entire nervous system, your whole body, is right back there in it, fighting for survival.
Now look, just knowing the name for this doesn't magically make it all go away. Of course not. But it is the first, and honestly, the most powerful step. Because when you can name what's happening while it's happening, you are no longer a victim of it. You actually become an observer of it. That awareness, it's like a superpower. It creates just enough space for you to pause and say, wait a minute, this feeling, this isn't about right now. This is a ghost. And that's the moment you realize you're holding on to a ghost and you can actually choose to put it down. That is how you start to reclaim your present.
So I'm going to leave you with this thought. These emotional flashbacks, they aren't just random glitches in your system. They are messengers from your past, and they're pointing to old wounds that really need your attention now. So instead of asking, what is wrong with me, maybe the more powerful question to ask yourself is, what is this feeling trying to show me?